Good afternoon, YouTube, and welcome to another episode of Gym Talk with Primo. So today we're going to go on a gym tour of my home gym. In case you are thinking about creating a home gym of your own, I can help you with the equipment that you need. So I'm going to turn this around and just take you on a quick tour of my home gym. Let's start with the mirror. Everybody needs a mirror. You might want to get a bigger mirror, but I like my mirror, just to keep abreast of how things are progressing, as your body composition changes. And you can notice it as other people will notice it. Friends and family, they'll be like, "You getting bigger," or "Your arms are getting bigger," but you'll see it in the mirror. But a mirror is a good place to start. So let's move around. This right here is my gun rack. This is where you create the guns and other things, but dumbbells is definitely essential. They're very important to have in your home. I started out with 5, 10, 15, 20, and 25. That's a good place to start. Kettlebells, I have kettlebells. That's not so much a necessity, but if you like to buy some kettlebells, then kettlebells are good too. But it's not a necessity. Dumbbells is definitely a necessity. Then I have a mat, in case you don't want to get down on the ground or the floor and do your sit-ups or your ab work. So I have a mat, but that's not, again, that's not a necessity. That's just part of my home gym. These racks right here are a necessity as to what I want to do. I have 2 of these. Well, as you can see behind the racks, I have plates, metal plates. I have from 10, 25, 35s, and 45s. And that's for bench pressing. So behind this door right here, I have a 35-pound barbell to bench press and do other things. You could do deadlifts, squats, and things of that nature. But we'll get into the utilization of each equipment. First, I just want to show you my equipment. I have a pull-up bar that I mounted on my wall. I think that's very important to do pull-ups. I didn't always like pull-ups, but it's best to attack the things that you don't like too, the things that make you scared and nervous to even challenge. But you got to challenge yourself in the gym. And then you might want some inspirational stuff around, like signs to give you affirmation and inspiration and remind you of what you're here for. So mine is, I'm not here to be average, I'm here to be awesome. So every now and then when I feel like I'm lacking, that sign helps. And then you want some bands. You definitely want bands. Bands are good because bands keep you toned. And not only do they keep you toned, they're easy to travel with. Like when you go on vacation, you can just throw them in your suitcase, and when you get to your hotel, you can still have your day of working out or training with your bands. You don't want to carry the dumbbells, so you carry your bands. Easy to store and very, very good. And then behind that is a jump rope. Everybody wants a jump rope. Even when you don't know how to jump rope, you want a jump rope for cardio. And to learn how to jump rope, it just be something else that you're learning about. And over here I have a dip bar. I love dips. I love my dip bar. I have a heavy bag. I used to hang it on my wall, but I don't do that anymore. So if anybody interested in a 45-pound heavy bag, be my guest. It's yours if you want it. I have some chains down there that you see, ab rollers for your stomach. I have some medicine balls, but we'll get into how and why those are important as well at some other time. I'm just trying to show you my equipment. This is the other rack that goes with the one I just showed you behind me. They go together. So I put the bench in between the racks. I put the dumbbell, or the barbell, I should say, the barbell on top of that, and that's how I bench. And as you can see, water is very essential. Water is important to have in the gym. And the jury is still out on how much water each person should drink. But from my knowledge and from what I've learned is that, because a lot of times they tell you to drink 8 to 10 8-ounce glasses of water every day. But I was told that everybody should drink half their body weight in ounces. So if you weigh 200 pounds, you should be drinking 100 ounces of water each day. Because as you know, our bodies consist of 70% water. So water is very important and essential while you're working out. Even when you're not working out, it's just good to have water and drink water all the time. So I have 2 benches. I bought an extra bench because I used to have people over to work out with me. So instead of them waiting on a bench, we have an extra bench where they could do whatever workout they're doing without waiting. And then I have this, I guess they call it a medicine ball, but you could do so many things with this ball. That's not a necessity in your home. For a lot of women love to use this ball. So for a lot of women, that could be a necessity, but that's part of my gym. I have a curl bar. I have this apparatus here is for push-ups. So as you can see, you can do back, chest, triceps, and shoulders, and it's color-coded. So the color for back, you just put it in the yellow on each side, and so forth and so on. Okay, and then I have another ab roller. That one right there is personal. That one is mine. The ones over in the other corner that I showed you, that's for guests and people that come over to use. They both effective, but this one right here belongs to me. That's my personal ab roller. And what else? Oh, well, of course I have a fan because it gets hot in here. I also have an AC behind here, so I'll cool off the room before I come in. And then if it gets too hot while I'm in here, because I don't work out with an AC. That's kind of dangerous to me. I don't like working out in a room with AC. I'd rather do the fan. And then I have some read material. We want to get into that later too, because that's a lot of stuff on the anatomy, the body, workouts. You'll see my collection when I do another video on that. So as you can see, I'm not certified, but I am qualified. And then I have other read material just to keep me focused, as a man thinketh, because sometimes you just lose focus. And you need to be reminded of why you're doing what you're doing. Then I have my boom box for my music, or I listen to a lot of motivational speakers on my phone. So sometimes I work out to just listening to other people speak. That gives me motivation as well. And of course I stay prayed up. And that's my gym. This is it. This is where I come to. This is my war room. This is where, a lot of guys got man caves, and I'm not against a man cave. I hope to have a man cave one day. But right now I have a war room. And this is where I prepare myself for whatever might come my way. It's just good to stay physically fit in case. You never know. You just never know in this world. I just want to be prepared. Even if I have to run from something, I want to be able to run from something. And if I have to, because anytime there's a situation, there's either fight or flight. And if I have to fight, I want to be able to run. If I have to fight, I want to be able to at least defend myself and have enough strength to defend myself. I just don't want to be a victim to nothing or anything. I want to give myself a chance to survive whatever. So I just try to stay fit for those reasons. There was a time in my past where it was just totally vanity, but now it's just a matter of health and trying to slow down the aging process, and trying to just be healthy and self-sufficient, taking care of myself, being able to take care of myself, So we'll get into a lot of things during this this journey. I want to help people better themselves. I want to better myself. And as I speak to you, I speak to myself. I'm preaching to the choir. And I think what that means is that as I speak to you, I'm speaking to myself, because there's times when I procrastinate as well. And that's a horrible trait to have, but I think we all suffer from it, where we put off today, we put off till tomorrow what we can do today. Sometimes we like, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll work out tomorrow. I'll work out tomorrow. Tomorrow never comes when you keep saying I'll work out tomorrow. There's always a tomorrow. So why not do it today? And here's another, a friend of mine, a very good friend of mine gave this to me. The Man Who Dares. That's another thing that I keep up there for inspiration. What else? There's a lot of little things that I have around here that is hidden. But again, we have time to get into all of that. So thank you again for listening. And this is my home gym. This is where the magic happens. This is where I'm at peace. This is where I get enjoyment. This is where I relax, even though I'm working out and I'm sweating. But the enjoyment comes after the fact. The enjoyment comes when the workout is done. And that's another thing. The workout is not done until it's done. It's not done when you're tired. It's not done because the clock says it's 5 o'clock. It's not done until you're done. And what I mean by that, whatever you set out for yourself that day, whatever workout you decide to do that day, how many ever sets, how many of the ever reps that you decide to do, you don't finish. You're not done until you finish the sets and the reps that you said you was going to do for that day. If you're doing chest, 3 sets of chest, 8 to 12 reps, and then 3 sets of biceps, 8 to 12 reps, you're not done until you complete that. Now, if you become tired or feeling dizzy or feeling a little weak, just listen to your body and take a moment to breathe, slow down. If that doesn't help, then call it a day. Don't fight through the things that doesn't feel right to you. You're not feeling yourself because you have to understand and you have to know your body. So, to each his own. There's been days where I started working out and somewhere in the middle of the workout, I was saying to myself, I don't feel good. I don't feel right. I don't feel like I can continue. And I wasn't done, but I was finished because I wasn't going to push myself through that. That's where injury occurs and whatever else may happen. So you got to take a moment. You just got to understand your body. Someone asked in a comment, do I offer suggestions or information on diets? The only thing I can tell you, I'm not a nutritionist. The only thing I can tell you about food and diet is you have to like form a relationship with food. You have to understand that food is fuel. Food is fuel like gas is fuel for a car to make it move. Now, if you go to the gas station and you fill your tank up and it's on F, when you drive out of there and you pass another gas station, are you going to pull over and put more gas in it? No. Are you going to pull over and put more gas in it when you just burn a quarter tank of gas and now there's 3/4 tanks of gas in your car? No, because you still got enough gas to get where you need to go. Sometimes we'll eat and we have 3/4 tanks of gas and we'll eat again just to satisfy our palates and just because we can. But we're not going to die. We're not starving. We're not hungry. We just want to eat because we can. And those are the things that you got to control. And another thing about food, the caloric intake, you gotta be able to count your calories. I know that's difficult and that's hard, and I don't even do that myself. I just know how much I need to eat. Sometimes I eat 1 meal a day and I'm good, and I'll drink water the rest of the day, and I may have a snack, maybe a banana or an orange or something like that. But there are days when I just eat 1 meal a day because that's all I want. That's all I need to sustain me. I don't need to eat all day. I was never one for a buffet. I always thought the buffet was stupid to me. It was corny. All you can eat for $14.99. All I can eat is a plate. And then after that, I'm not saying I've never been to a buffet because I have. After that, I decided to just walk around and taste the things that I've never eaten. After I had me a plate of food at a buffet, then I would just walk around and taste, like, if I've never eaten that particular cookie, it's usually a dessert thing. Or if I've never eaten, or I want to taste a banana pudding, I'll take a small portion of it and I'll taste the banana pudding. I like banana pudding. Or if I never had a red velvet cake, I may take a little small piece and taste the red velvet cake or something like that. But other than that, I'm done. Once I have a plate of food, I'm done. So to me, it wasn't a waste of money because even to have a plate of food for $14.99 these days is a pretty cheap dinner. So it really wasn't a waste of money. It just was a waste of time because I'm not going to sit there all day and eat. I'm just not going to do that. That's just ridiculous as far as I'm concerned. But anyway, I'm going to let y'all go. We're going to talk in the future, hopefully. And y'all have a blessed evening. Peace.